Persona is one of my favorite RPG series, and a big reason why I love it is because of the characters. The characters are probably one of the most important aspects of the series for me. They're almost like playing visual novels at times because of how much dialogue focus there is. It's cool to go on these big journeys with your team and by the end come out of it on top. There might be some challenge and some real loss along the way, but by the end it feels compelling, almost to the point where you feel hollow. It's a journey you don't really want to end, but it has to end at the end of the day. Recently I've dove into the Mass Effect series, and while the series is really popular among RPG players, I feel like not many in the JRPG community or Persona circles have played these games. Which is a shame, because they're more similar to Persona than most JRPG series are. As the Commander Shepard in the series as the main character, he recruits many soldiers to his ranks that become integral to the experience of all three games. I don't want to spoil anything, but it really does matter on your decision making between these games. Over the course of the series, you'll recruit some people that you may or may not like, but you still need them for the enemy you must face. It's pretty cool to see this friction between the personalities of the crew and Shepard, but ultimately you all work together. It's cool how united some of the casts are in Persona games, but some of the most memorable moments in Persona 3 were the ones with the most different, standoffish characters. That isn't to say that they were my favorite, or I'm actively looking for drama, but it really does portray some more realistic situations between people in general when there is some conflict. I mean, when dealing with war and intergalactic struggle, there's bound to be some disagreements. I draw the parallel with Fire Emblem as well, especially since those are war-focused. Mass Effect also has romancing options for those that are big on that, and it's honestly nice to see some characters that are older. I don't know why Japanese RPGs always focus on high school settings, and this is something I really loved about Metaphor Re Fantasio in specific, getting away from that setting in favor of a high fantasy setting. Character building is done through conversation throughout the games, and each character often has missions that coincide with their story. Shepard can go along with them on these missions, and they're all unique and memorable in their own way, reflecting the different personalities of the crew. Some of them remind me of the real hardship of social links in Persona 3 through health and cultural issues. There are many different races and species in the game, and it's cool to see the various cultures. There are even disagreements among crewmates that can get pretty heated, so it's good to keep an eye out for these moments. I don't know, these characters are all super unique. It really is just a ton of fun to see them progress throughout the story alongside Shepard. Through decision making in Mass Effect using the Paragon and Renegade system, there are some real big decisions that the player can make concerning the squad mates. It's a really cool form of writing that JRPGs don't really explore too much. I love both genres, but it is cool to see this differing form of writing and player choice. At the end of the day, they aren't going to be completely alike, especially given Mass Effect is made by a Canadian company of BioWare, and Persona and Fire Emblem from Japan. But it is totally rad to see how character-driven these games really are, and I wanted to put this energy out there. The more and more I play of this series, it really does remind me of how I felt playing Persona 3 and 5, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Awakening, and all that. This video isn't meant to alienate or compare the two genres, but more so just a recommendation to those who haven't made the leap to Western RPGs, and they mostly play Japanese ones. The gameplay might be a bit slower paced than you're used to if you haven't played too many Western RPGs, but at the end of the day, I think the story and characters really run the show. That's not to say the gameplay is bad by any means, it will just be different for a JRPG only player. I hope some more people get into these games. They're really super cheap if you catch them on a Steam sale with the Legendary Edition. It's also on PS4 and Xbox One for those playing on consoles. Thank you for listening to my rambling about these games. If you'd consider subscribing or hitting the like button and all that YouTube stuff, it really does help the channel and I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day.
Turians don't like the cold, Shepard. Did I ever mention that?
The appeal of winter wears thin very quickly.